ZVP, a little bit of ZVT as well. Rogue, he's very fond of lurkers. He's very, as we saw here at a Shin, where he is more, you know, going into like Ling Bane, Hydra Lurker, or Ling Bane Roach Ravager into Ultra. Rogue, he's much more of a lurker enjoyer, and that's usually his go-to in a lot of these games, in a lot of these matchups. We'll see if that's the case here. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg. Representing Team Falcons, it is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. So we have setting in. See someone asking in the chat, replay cast? Yes, as we mentioned, this is covered by replays because of the scheduling conflict with another tournament. Right now, LiuLi Cup is going over the TV Invitational. Because of that, players did have to play their matches and submit them ahead of time, just because there are two tournaments happening at the same time. But if you're in the chats, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Here we go. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Will it go the way of ByuN? Will it go the way of Rogue? Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. Whew, as we are settling in. Shin is the biggest Baneling addict around. No. You say that like it's a bad thing, Pappy. Let him make his banelings. Let him cook, Pappy. Let him cook. Oh no. I mean, again, if Shin is a baneling addict, then Rogue is a lurker addict. 100%. Is a lurker addict, and that's usually his go-to, especially on a larger map like this. I can see Rogue, and we've seen it before, where he typically plays defensive. Where he opens up, he plays as safe as possible, and his win condition for Rogue is usually defend and survive until lurkers, and then he can start being active and aggressive and move out across the map. He can go for pushes, he can go for Nidus Worms as well, but I might be getting ahead of myself. We'll see how Rogue plays this out. Back at home, ByuN going to be going for his own standard opener. Rax expand into factory. We'll see if he goes for the third CC or for an earlier Rax, but should be an economic opener. Should be economic. There it is, third CC's on the way from the side of ByuN. Ooh, nice snipe on the tumor, very nicely done. Tumor goes down. ByuN maintaining control of the map so far, behind this 3CC into Starport, and we're setting up for the Tech Lab, setting up for the add-on swap. Looks like it's just a standard opener into Banshee play. We'll see if ByuN does deviate. So he does shake things up. Otherwise, we are just going to be droning, getting our natural. Unlike Shin, Rogue, he does not rush into the triangular third like a madman. Doesn't rush into the low ground expansion. He's not that crazy. As the Hellions are moving out, Cloak Banshee on the way. Overlord looks like did not quite confirm what was going on, but did see the third CC. So for the most part, he's aware. And we're going for the safety Roach Warren. Let's go. Safety Roach Warren is on the way. So far, we're just going to be poking in. Poking in, establishing the third base. Extra Vaxes on the way. We're just building up. For the most part, we're just building up here. Both players are, I should say. Again, welcome one and all to Abyssal Reef. This is one of the largest maps in the map pool. I say one of, it is second largest only to Neon Violet Square. So it leads to these kind of more passive game states where both players are just building up. Banshee does hit the natural, gets 2 drone kills, 3 drones so far. Not bad. The Spore going to be repositioning. That was not quite ready. And with that, 4 workers, not bad. Not bad whatsoever. Going for a queen as well. Shouldn't get a queen, but is trading well for himself. As Banshee does pull away. Banshee pulls back. Hellions poised for a dive. ByuN just throwing down extra Raxes. Getting towards a 5 rack setup initially. But in general, it is a little bit easier here to fortify yourself and to defend up to 5 bases. The 6th base is more exposed, but your 5 base setup is just really secure here on Abyssal Reef. And ByuN does hit the 3rd. Ooh, does slip in. Air drone's going to be going down. Not too many, though, as the Hellions, they get completely cleaned up here. And not as worth it. As that is going to be 6. Yes, 6 Hellions here for 4 drones. They are cleaned up. Meanwhile, Rogue goes straight for that infestation bit. As we mentioned before in the lead up to this game, lead up to the series, typically Rogue is one to play very defensive until lurkers. And that's what we're headed. Hydra Den, infestation bit, into Hive, into lurker tech. This is his go-to in both ZVT and ZVP. Just like defensive until lurkers. I've been waiting for him to shake it up, but no, it's like I've been waiting for Rogue to shake up his style, but that's been his go-to. Rogue is more aggressive and more chaotic in ZVZ, so I should emphasize that. Like if you watch Rogue ZVZ, like he's an animal. It's crazy, just how different he is. But in the other matchups, it's just about teching, and there it is. Link speed is on the way. Hive is morphing in, and we should soon be seeing the Lurker Den as well. Now, before we can reach that final form, before Rogue can get to those lurkers, he's going to be a little bit vulnerable here. And we'll see what ByuN can get done. Does move out. There's a changeling following the army, so Rogue is fully aware. See him repositioning here with his Roach Ravager. There's that lurker den that we spoke of. It's all in the way. Towards those lurkers. ByuN getting his own 4th. I do appreciate that ByuN has been active, but ByuN hasn't been committed. That's the biggest problem in my mind here. Is it sure he's been poking, getting a couple of drones here and there, denying creep here and there, but Rogue, he's reaching his final form. Like he's getting there. Hive is now done. Vipers are on the way, soon to be lurker upgrades. And once his lurkers become online, then we should be seeing Nidus Worms. And like that's where Rogue really thrives, is to get into a maxed out lurker army, and then like Nidus Worms into the main, Nidus Worms outside of the 4th, outside of the 5th base. That's when Rogue really swings into high gear. He's not there yet though. As ByuN stems in. Charger trying to keep up. Oh, trying to zone him away. ByuN able siege. Denies mining at the center expansion. Gas Geyser goes down. Not bad. Lurkers are revealed. They're getting in position. And ByuN, he needs ghosts. He needs to start taking into ghosts, start taking into liberators. The expansion is going to go down. And nice pickup. Takes down the hatchery. Rogue going for his own counterattack. Vipers, they land the power bombs. Rogue, he does barely not get the tank. Oh my god. Tank survives. ByuN, he defends. Sorry, ByuN, he defends. ByuN, the tuna. But pushing into these tanks is not going to be easy. And Roaches, they go for the dive. Nice miles. They take down 1, 2, 3 of the tanks. They take down all 4. Yeah, the tank gun gets reset. And Rogue holds. Rogue, he does hold. Forces back the army, he survives, and now he can start building up even more lurkers. He's on how many? He's on 6 so far, and that's merely only the beginning. The intercept. Oh no! The intercept! Up! Oh my god, massive power bombs. My medevac's already shut down. Every single medevac even. Massive loss for ByuN. ByuN is forced back home. I say that still being active with those drops. Rogi starts up his own upgrades. There we go. 5 more lurkers on the way, getting up to 11. He's getting up there. ByuN trying to be active. Ghost Academy just getting up to the halfway mark. Needs more time. We need those ghosts. Do need those ghosts here. ByuN drops the mineral line. Drone's being targeted. That's gonna be 5. Oh my god, 6 drone kills. 6 workers going down. ByuN rotates towards that center base once again. Double drop is going to be cleaned up. Rogue defends. Does cost him 7 drones. And this center base is going to be denied. But what's important here is that the lurker count is untouched. It's still building up. He's got 11. He's building up more hydras and more lurkers. Like, the army is being preserved and built up over time. Speaking of, lurker rats across the map. Shut down. No Nidus Worms yet out of Rogue. They come in, they get the yoink. They get 1, they get 2. Shut down 2 of those tanks. As Rogue forced to expand towards the top side instead. Is getting saturated. Is up and running. Yo, ByuN, he barely saved the medevac, denies more mining time. Very nicely done. Across the map, 1 tank falls. So 2 drones and a gas geyser. You want Nidus into the main base, but the last ByuN, he's paying attention. Throwing down turrets. And denies the Nidus. Got an Overseers here in the bottom right hand corner. He's in the corner of the map. Rogue is maxed. He's got how many lurkers so far? 14. Soon to be 15. 15 lurkers. This Rogue is engulfing the map so far, taking more of these northern bases, double expanding. Nidus does complete. Another Nidus roam on the way. Double Nidus. There's also the scary thing about ByuN maxing out is that he won't have any production, like naturally. Does leave 1 tank in the main to defend, and he's got a ring of turrets. Just hoping that's going to be enough. As even though ByuN was able to snipe bases early on, now Rogue has map control. He has full map control. ByuN is stuck at home. Scans will snipe 1 lurker. One lurker goes down. Setting out more siege lines. We spoke earlier that coming into Abyssal Reef, it is very easy to defend on 5 bases. That's what we have right now. 5 base setup. The 6th base is more exposed. Whether it's this southern 6th base or the northern base, it is a lot more difficult to defend, and this is where Rogue can start to try to break through and try to push into these bases. The main point of contention is going to be that SIG. You know, Rogue coming in with his mass. Oh my god, the MP! It's going to stay with his mass Overseer. As we've seen before, the goal with Mass Overseer here, I mean, it's twofold. 1, Mass Changeling everywhere for those Nidus rooms, of course, but also to help protect and to hide those lurkers, to make it more difficult to snipe. Speaking of, oh, Viper goes down. There's 1 Viper left. We got ByuN getting caught out of position. Lurkers moving in. Take down 1 of those CCs. Snipes to catch 1 lurker. Just the one. Well, so far, ByuN is keeping up. He defends. He's keeping up with Rogue. Slowly pushing forward. Again, this can be difficult to deal with. Double knives into the main base. And snipe is denied. And ByuN is ready. He is. He's going to shut this down. He gets one. He gets both. Takes on both tanks. Nice tank shots. Changelings are denied. ByuN gaining ground here, pushing out onto creep. He does move out, snipes some of those hydras. Picks off some lurkers as well. Ooh, but committing to lurker fire. Does take down, what, 5-6 lurkers. Not bad. Quickly checking here. That was, sorry, did I say 6? 11. That's including some lurkers here towards the south as well. 11, 12 lurkers went down. Well worth it here for ByuN. As there's 11 lurkers left, so it cuts the lurker count in half. And here comes the freedom. They have liberation range. More liberators on the way. That was a good trade, but can ByuN expand? We spoke about it. Can he get a 6th base? Well, that happens. Rogue moving in. Yoinks the tank. Mass changing on the right-hand side. ByuN, he notices. Oof. Takes down most of the changelings. One changeling gets through. Very nice snipes. Banelings rolling in. They take down not much. Rogue, he does get into the main. Yeah, filing into the main base. And ByuN's not quite in position. He has that one tank, but just the one tank. Once again, yoinks 2 more. Nice. Oh, very nice snipes. Oh my god, the tank survives. Meanwhile, Nidus Swarms, they cleaned up. Once again, there is enough production. Solo defense here by ByuN. Just send the Nidus Swarms. Nice more lurkers. And the lurker count's getting quite low here. Down to 9. Lurkers just now morphing in. Changeling once again making their way into the main. ByuN, he has left some army back at home. Oh, he had left some army back at home. He's moving out. Here comes the Nidus. Does ByuN notice in time? He's going to get an expansion and a mineral line. Does notice, but it's gonna finish. It's gonna be close. Oh my god. Just send the Nidus in time. ByuN takes down the mineral line and a base. ByuN's all over this. 16 drone kills. And the expansion. Tanks are sieged up. There's no lurkers here. Yeah, not a good trade here for Rogue. Losing everything. The Ling Bane, the Hydras. ByuN takes a very strong fight here. Snipes continue. Snipes they continue. Liberation has arrived. Limited anti-air. Said we have Rogue just rallying across the map. Just ignores everything. Tries to at least. Planetaries they hold on. Oh no! ByuN not paying attention. Gets caught up for a moment, but the liberation. Oh my, the freedom. There's too much freedom. Oh my god. Liberators, they pop up here on the front lines. Shut down the ground army. They at least try to. Forcing the pickup. Once again, more Hydras going down. Nidus into the main base. Ooh, it will complete. Not really though. Completes for a moment. And Rogue is falling apart. GG gets called. There's nothing left for Rogue. And ByuN, he takes game number 1. Whew. GG. ByuN does take a lead in the series. Again, Rogue, he was able to reach his final form, as we mentioned, and I expect this every game in this series, depending on the map, I suppose. This is Rogue's go-to. His go-to is play very defensive early on, as we were saying, into the late game, into Mass Lurker with Nidus play. And he got there, he got to that final form. Despite that, ByuN, he was all over it. The most important thing was the fact that ByuN, he was able to maintain an army at home. He always had a handful of Marines and Marauders at home, despite the fact that it was max, despite the fact that there were fights happening across the map. We did see that ByuN was able to make sure that the Nidus forms never completed. There was maybe one Lurker that ever got into the main base, but outside of that, he was able to shut it down. And really, that's the win condition. Like, Rogue, if he can get into the main base with a good amount of lurkers, he can completely shut down the production. He can cause chaos, cause havoc. He can force ByuN to race back home and create an opening and snowball from there. Like, that is how he can win these games. But he wasn't able to pull it off. ByuN was just so solid in his defense, likewise so solid in his aggression as well, with his move outs, with his ghosts, and with his liberators as well. GG. GG, well played. A very impressive game there by ByuN. And what were the vetoes? what is happening? I both in the last series and this one as well. We could, gee, cry. Oh, okay, let's get into it. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner for the first time tonight, as this is the most vetoed map of the map pool. Welcome to Neon Violet Square. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player for Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shotfire Rebellion. It is ByuN. I'm just a little bit in shock. I'm just a little bit in shock here. Again, last series we saw Abyssal into King's Cove. Here we're seeing Abyssal into Neon Violet Square. Maps that we rarely get to see, I'll be honest, but here in this tournament, we're seeing a lot of it. I mean, I say we're seeing a lot of it. First time here tonight. First time tonight, we're seeing Neon Violet Square, which is more than I can say for most tournaments, as this is often vetoed and often avoided. The reason for this, welcome one and all to the largest map in the map pool, and cutting corners is what we do best. No gas. So gasless opener out of Rogue. He goes hatchery into spawning pool into hatchery. Oh. Yeah, he should be taking this expansion. Rogue is scouting. He's checking for proxies, as you do not have any other units early on to check, so you need to drone scout initially, and then you expand. But again, gasless opener here out of Rogue. Oh, Rogue is actually going for the pocket base, not going for the linear third. Okay, so he's not being as greedy as he could be, but regardless, greedy nonetheless. So greedy build here by Rogue, and we'll see if he can get away with this. Basically, what's going to be happening here is that Rogue has no link speed. He has no gas, which means very delayed link speed here out of Rogue, but this is something that you can get away with on a map like Neon Violet Square. The reason for this, all you have to do is defend this one location. Defending this one centralized location here with purely queens, and SimCity, of course, means that you protect 3 bases. Your natural, your main, and your third base as well. So it is very easy to get away with skipping link speed. So just really greedy build here by Rogue, and this is a map that you can cut corners on. Is more viable, and he should get away with it. Now, because link speed is going to be so delayed, that this usually leads into roach play, just like the last game. Into roaches, into roach ravager, into delayed link speed, into hive, into hydras, into lurkers. Like, again, this is what we saw in the last game is typically how Rogue does play this out. Ooh, meanwhile, speaking of greed, third CC on location. ByuN, let's go. I mean, ByuN, he recognizes the greed of his opponents, and he meets that greed with his own, going for the third CC on location as well. And there's nothing to threaten him. Remember, there's no link speed, so there's no link flood, right? There's no links that can threaten this expansion. ByuN, he is free to cut corners as well. This is almost like the new version, the modern, I guess, modern old version, since this map was in the map pool many years ago, of Radisson Station. If you remember games on Radisson Station, yeah, double eBay. Third CC on location into double eBay before the second racks. This is the greediest build you can go for. I say that there's one build greedier than this. We saw it on Radisson Station, Spirit versus Solar, if you recall. I think it was at EWC, Spirit versus Solar, where Spirit, he went for a 4th CC before second racks. It was crazy. But that was also on Radisson Station. But that's the kind of stuff you can get away with here. So it's just all about greed, all about cutting corners. And I actually do like ByuN's position a little bit more here. Right? Like the power of the faster third and the power of faster 1-1 upgrades is just insane. And you can see here that Rogue is walling up. He's walling up, he's getting some safety roaches. He's being secure. The one thing that I would like more here actually is if ByuN had gotten his third CC at the gold. that would have been peak. That would have been crazy. Ah, no. Needs more overseers. Ah. I mean, it's a good strategy. Don't get me wrong. Like, mass lurker overseer. It's definitely an imposing strategy, definitely. But it's something that we mentioned after Star Zagora is that the problem is that Rogue did really well for it in that tournament, but ever since then has been struggling, and that's just because everyone saw it, right? Like, a lot of the strength and a lot of the power behind that build when it was first kind of revealed is the surprise factor, and the fact that players like ByuN, players like Clem had never played against that kind of style before. Now they've gotten practice, and now they're a lot more aware of the strengths and the weaknesses, of the ins and outs of this style. Of the Rogue Overseer style. Yo, Rowdy. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás, Rowdy, in the chat? Ay, ay, ay. You can secure me, papi. I will. Rowdy. As the third base is getting up and running, back at home, Rogue is working towards, into Infestation Pit, into Hydrogen, into Hive and Lurk. Oh, let's go. There's that Hydrogen. So again, it shouldn't be a surprise. Same setup, same build. Usually it's surprising if Rogue doesn't rush into Lurkers. Then we freak out. Then it's like, oh my, is it really Rogue playing? Like, what's going on? He's not rushing Lunker. It's crazy. It happens. It happens sometimes. Sometimes. Now, have ByuN rotating over, takes down the tumors. Setting off for his move out. Speaking of, here we go, just rallying across the map. What do we have? We have 1-1. 1-1 upgrades are done. We have Stim and combat shields, good amount of bio. But Rogue is somewhat in position here. He has plenty of Roach Ravager. Should be okay. Should be okay. Zoning back ByuN. ByuN is going to be rallying in, getting his fourth CC on location. Getting quite greedy when it comes to that fourth, but again, his Neo Violet Square. Clearing up creep, pushing forward. The concave is sold here from Rogue. ByuN doesn't want to overextend, but he's at least posturing here as Rogue, he pushes in. Yeah, mass tank shots going up. Tank should go down. Biles, they take down the medevac. Oh, and the bio army does crumble. Yeah, Rogue, he does punish this push. And ByuN did overextend. Stuck around a little bit too long. Pulls back. And with that, Rogue now takes the lead. And he's getting ready for the Lunkers. The Hive is now done. Hive upgrade's going to be on the way. We have Lurker range to be into Tulling Claw, into Adaptive Talons. ByuN has to fall back and lick his wounds. Does fall back. Changeling spots the move out. So Rogue, he's aware of what's going on. Sees the second wave here out of ByuN. I'm a little bit concerned that ByuN's being overly aggressive here. He's mainly going for these frontal pushes. And I mean, this time there are Lurkers. ByuN, he denies creep, and he doesn't push in. He respects the siege line of lurkers. Rotates instead. Heading over towards the southern expansion. Rogue is keeping up, but Rogue is maxed. Now, bearing in mind, Rogue has an inflated army with a lot of these roaches. He's inflated. Rogue trying to come in from behind. Uh-oh. And he collapses forward. Marines, they try to stand their ground. Lurkers, they take down the tank. And without the tank, ByuN has to retreat. Oh, takes down the Hydra. Takes down the Hydra. He wants these lurkers. He stims. Oh, God, no! Stims in. He's going to lose almost everything, though. Takes down 3 of those lurkers, but I don't think that was worth it. And ByuN plummets in supply. Rogue is almost maxed out. And ByuN, that was not the play, Papi. That was not the play. Go base is going to be denied, and ByuN has nothing at home. He has almost nothing back home to defend. He's got 2 tanks. He's got a handful of Marines. ByuN, he flew too close to the sun. He got burned, Papi. He got burned. And Rogue, he's done it. He breaks through the defensive line. There's almost nothing left here. There's 2 tanks and a handful of Marines. And Rogue, he will overwhelm. GG gets called. Rogue will tie up the series 1-1. GG. I do apologize for not updating the score in game. I set my mind. I do apologize, but yes, we are tied up 1-1. We're going to the ace match. GG. ByuN was able to win on Abyssal Reef. Rogue, he was able to snowball out of control here on Neoviolet Square. Basically, ByuN was just overly aggressive. He was overly aggressive this game. He just kept it was one of those things where he actually didn't really overcommit. He wasn't pushing onto creep, but despite that was still getting caught on the map. It was still being caught out. Time and time again, and as a result, he was never able to really build up an army or build up any kind of force that can threaten his opponent. Just a lot of losses early on when it came to the first triple tank push, and of course the second single tank push as well. Just kept getting caught out, and with that, GG. GG, well played. We're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. The final game of the series, and the final game of tonight's broadcast. Again, only 4 best of 3s tonight. And we're here. We are here, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons. Tying up the series, forcing the ace match. Can he keep going? It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. It all ends here. It all ends on, oh my god, it all ends on ley lines, and ByuN is going to be opening up 2-Axe Reaper. It's been a while. It's been a while, been a hot minute. I mean, I say that. We saw Clem go 2-Axe Reaper last night in the OSC Season 12 Championship against Shin. Did occur. Clem did go 2-Axe Reaper, and we're seeing it here at a ByuN as well. Now, of course, 2-Axe Reaper was a build that was popularized and refined and, yeah, really brought to the forefront by ByuN, actually. This was back in 2023, technically back in 2022, back in DreamHack Atlanta in November, is when both ByuN and Maru did bring it to the forefront of people's attention at Atlanta. Ooh, but this is a different variation here. 2-Axe Reaper initially into a 3rd Rax Mass Reaper. Let's go. Now, this is not an all-in. Don't get this twisted. This is not an all-in, but it is committed. It is very committed here. The goal here is to at least contain the Zerg player on 2 bases, ideally get some drone kills and get some queen kills as well, while you transition into a 3rd expansion, into bio play, into stim, combat shields, in towards the mid game. So very committed here by ByuN. And we'll see if Rogue, actually, he doesn't Overlord Scout. Uh-oh. So Rogue, he keeps the first Overlord here in the center. This Overlord should be checking the natural and then hiding here at the steam vent, but he plays it a little bit safer here. As a result, he will be getting a delayed scout as to what's going on, which means Rogue, he's setting up for the 3rd base, and this 3rd base could be punished. It will be punished if he gets it. The Overlord should get eyes on the 2nd Reaper.
Our forces are under attack.
There we go, does spot it. 2nd Reaper moves out, he knows. Oh, still going for the expansion though. And Rogue, he should not be able to hold on to this base. It shouldn't happen. As more Reapers are on the way. And Rogue should be contained. If he can somehow save this base, that's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. Means a Woodling in. We need those KDA charges. Switching over to the Queens. Charge is going to be going up. More Reapers on the way. Queens are getting low. He gets one. One Queen goes down. He wants the other as well. Oh my god. Reapers are getting low, but so far the control here is Solana. One Reaper goes down. He gets one. Just the one though. One Reaper for two Queens. Better trade for ByuN. But Link Speed is going to finish. And you could argue that this was worth it because Rogue, yes, he lost two Queens, which is brutal, but it looks like he will save the base. He will save the expansion. May have lost the battle, but he's looking to win the war. I say that. Does catch out one Reaper. One Reaper gets caught. ByuN, he still wants that expansion, but he shouldn't get it. He almost get this around. Base is getting low. But yeah, he has to back off. He has to pull away. Too much time has progressed. Lings have amassed. And as we settle into this, I do kind of like Rogue's position here. Again, like he saved the expansion. ByuN's natural is delayed because of how committed he was. The base is still just not finishing. ByuN is holding. Ideally, Rogue, he wants those add-ons. He wants that stim. Oh. And he's going for it. ByuN turns around. There's 24 Lings on the way. Rogue, he's not droning. He droned up somewhat here, up to 30. Okay, more drones are on the way, but very committed with all these Lings. As a result, he has to catch these Reapers. Does need to catch him. Lings, they turn back around. Rogue, he's coming in for the intercept. He wants those Reapers, and oh, he barely will miss them. Yeah, barely does miss them. Good position here by ByuN. He's gonna get surrounded. Lings on the low ground as well, and he's not gonna escape. Yeah, he's gonna be cleaned up. Very nice catch here from Rogue, shutting down almost every single Reaper. Two Reapers, they try to escape, but they shouldn't. As Lings, they turn back around. They hunt down the final Reaper. Very nice catch, and behind all this, Rogue's just been droning. He's been droning up, saturating his bases. ByuN, he's stuck on a two-base setup here. Third TC is finishing up as well. He will soon expand. But ByuN, everything else is delayed. I'm referring to the Medivac, Stim, Combat Shield, eBay is 1-1. It is all delayed here. And he didn't get the expansion. So Rogue does have a lead. Rogue is ahead. So honest to tell Rogue the other strategies are allowed to play. No. If it works, man. If it works, it works. And to be fair, like Rogue, he has been forced into something very different because of the opener, right? He has Mass Ling, we have +1 carapace on the way. Like, it's a very different kind of game state right now. I guess ByuN did force a different game state, true. Rogue, he's rolling with the punches. He is reacting. So far, keeping up. We have 1-1 upgrades on the way. ByuN has to be so careful here not to be surrounded. Gets another Overlord. Not bad. Pulls away, tries to rotate. So far, he's keeping up. And Rogue, because of all these Lings, Banelings. Let's go for the first time this series, Ling Bane. Ling Bane out of Rogue, not Roach into Hydra Lurker. Lings are coming for a surround. They shut down the helis, but the stutter stepping, oh my god. Stutter stepping was crazy. ByuN slips away. Does slip away. Things they do hit the third. Oh god. Gets punished for it. Nice target firing. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4 of those banelings, but for the cost of a full medevac. So Rogue, he's holding, he's fighting back. Here comes that Hydroden. All roads lead to Rome. Like Rogue's go-to and where he thrives is going to be lurker tech. He's getting there. But he still needs more time. Until then, he's vulnerable. And ByuN could try to bring him down. Thanks to cash reinforcements. Bathing speed is on the way. Lanes, they attempt to surround. And they will delay the push. Even going for the 4cc. The mine shots. The mines don't quite go up. Lanes are cleaned up, but this is still just buying time. ByuN finally pushes. But there's plenty waiting for him. Yeah, decent connections. And Rogue is keeping up. He shuts down the army. Oof. Nice last second split. Oh my god, switch to suit. It cleans up the Widow Mines though. And we still have a back and forth trade. ByuN is still just trying to maintain his aggression here, clearing up a lot of creep. Rogue fighting for it. Behind this, we have, I believe, no Hive. Yeah, it's still Lair Tech. Lair Tech out of Rogue. Still focusing on purely Ling Bane. He's not taking up. There's no Hive, there's no Lurker Den. Still on a lower drone count as well. Just keeping up here with ByuN. Focusing on army production, going for the 4th base. Trying to force a lift. Won't be able to. So it does pull away. It's a bird Ling. Ooh. Not a Baneling. But we'll spot. We'll spot nonetheless. And there we go. It looks like Rogue has realized he cannot break ByuN, and now he's teching. And now this is my biggest concern, is that this infestation is late. It's a late infestation for Rogue. It's a late realization that he has to tech up out of Lair. And I am concerned. Ooh, brutal mine shot here on the Lings. Yeah, Lings are shut down. And ByuN, he's breaking through. Just a very efficient army. Rogue has to pull away. Another drop towards the top side. Denying mining time. Trying to pull Rogue apart. Up. That's one of my shots not being wasted on the Overseer. Gets spin on the Overseer. Forces back the Lings. Once again, just really nice trades here from ByuN. We should be soon seeing that Hive. There we go. Hive is on the way. There's the Lurker Den. Rogue, he's almost there. He's almost at the Lunker spot. He's getting there. He's getting there in a different way compared to game 1 and game 2, but working towards it nonetheless. Brutal mine shots. Ling Bane rolling into the mineral lines. Ooh, SCV's going to be going down. And nice damage here. 13 SCV kills. ByuN, he's racing back home to defend. Yeah, ByuN getting caught out of position. Force the scan. Lings, they burrow in the main. 14 SCVs. And the most important thing here is that Rogue is buying time for Lurkers. That's what's important. He's just buying more time here to actually take up into Hive and Lurkers, which is later than usual. But he's almost there. He's almost reached that point. Till then, ByuN is pushing. 3-3 is almost done. At least +3 armor. As ByuN moves out, another big run by. Avoids the mine shots. And Rogue, he should be able to hold on here. He's trading out Hydras. Yeah, it's an expensive trade for Rogue, but he will hold. Does hold on. 20 SCVs, got 21 SCV kills. Yeah, ByuN is being torn apart. The push failed. The defense failed as well. And Rogue is all over this. And we're almost there. Lurker upgrades are coming. And there it is, the Lunkers. They're morphing in. 6 Lurkers on the way. And ByuN is not ready for this. Does have the Ghost Academy. Has the Academy, but no Ghost yet. So just focusing on Pirate production. Focusing on Marine Marauder. Rogue, he just keeps going for these thing run-bys, and ByuN, he's just struggling to be in position. Finally, is forced to respond. Just trying to be here in time, I should say. Trying to be proactive. Lings, they do engage. They're trying to force friendly fire. Mine shot going off. Lings, they catch reinforcements as well. Yeah, ByuN not quite in position. Ooh. Decent mine connections, but SCVs are still going to be going down. ByuN, he doesn't back off. There's going to be 8 more SCV kills. There's the first scan, but we still have more Lings, and the Ling Floods, they just keep going. Bro, he just keeps going for the same Ling Flood. Time and time again. And it's working. Takes out a Ghost, takes out Marines. Lings in the mineral lines. And ByuN finally responds with the main army. But is this too little too late? Has the damage been done? 14 SCV kills. Factory goes down as well. It's not even Banelings, Pappy, it's just Lings. Just non-stop Ling run-bys. And while Lings have been buying time, Rogue, what does he have? He has more Hydras, more Lurkers. Hive upgrades on the way, Adrenal. The Lings, they just keep going. He just keeps going again. This is what, like the 4th or 5th run-by? Within the same amount of minutes as well? Jesus. This time a much cleaner defense. I say cleaner, I mean no damage done yet. Lurker behind the mineral line. Looking for a scan. Oh, speaking of, there is none. There we go. Scan pops off. I mean, because of all these borrowed Lings here, we have limited scans available. Yeah, scans are limited. Turrets are on the way. Another scan being forced out. Oh god, just the individual Lurkers. Rogue being so annoying. Oh no. As ByuN is still just waiting for another scan, and here comes the main army. ByuN does have a comparable army size. But what about the scans? The base is under fire. Just moving in, going for the planetary. Doesn't quite break through. Turret does complete. Let's go. Turret's done. Lings, they unburrow in the natural. They unburrow in the main. Main army moving in. So the 12 SCVs. And there we go. Now we're throwing down turrets in each base, but this feels quite late here. Let's finally force into it. CC got low, but there's a repair. Repairs on the planetary. Jeez, they just keep going. 18 SCVs, finally. Leans it up. As they just keep waddling in. One Lunker at a time. The one Lunker. Meanwhile, both armies are maxed. Don't forget that. Both armies are maxed out. Lingbane rolling on in. This planetary is exposed. He had massive connections. Ghost's going to be going down. The planetary and the bio as well. ByuN, the splits were a little bit too late. And Rogue, he shuts down the main army. GG gets called as Rogue overwhelms, and Rogue, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Rogue just pulling and tearing ByuN apart here. I mean, a lot of it did come down to the failed early game. If you remember, ByuN, he was hyper aggressive with 3-Rax Reaper, which did not do enough damage. He then moved out with Bio, with Marines, and very quickly, Rogue gained map control. Rogue, he gained map control, and at a certain point, the run-bys, they started, and they never stopped. They never stopped. They just kept on rolling into the bases of ByuN over and over and over and over again consecutively, and it took a really long time for ByuN to start throwing down turrets, and he never threw down any bunkers, like his SimCity was lacking. You know what this reminded me of, actually? To the extreme, ByuN, this last game, he was doing his best hero impression. I'll be because the wall at the natural was never a wall. It was never, I mean, there was a depot, but it was just perpetually lowered. It was just perpetually down, and Ling runways just kept going into the main base over and over and over and over again. ByuN, he's been watching too much hero, papi. Too much hero. Ay. Not like this. Not like this. And with that, unlike Hero, who again does an impeccable job at defending even with Ling Runbys getting to his bases, ByuN had a harder time. He had a much harder time here. What was really cool was just that the Ling Runbys, they actually led and they supported the Lurker Runbys as well, just because Ling Runbys were forcing so many scans already because of the borrowed Lings, and that meant that the Lurker harass was that much more annoying. And I think annoying is the best word there. Annoying is the best word, because you could see the frustration out of ByuN, where ByuN, he had an army, he had units, but he had very limited scans because it was scanning so much already, and at a certain point he was just running out. He just couldn't scan. He was forced to throw down turrets wherever he could, and eventually he was able to deal with it a little bit. But GG, well played. Congratulations. ByuN is out and Rogue is in. GG, well played. And with that, we can go over the bracket itself. We can go over the results. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Here we go. We have our mirror matchups. It's going to be a PvP between Zaun and Classic, as Solo went down to Zaun, Gumiho went down to Classic, so we have a PvP between Zaun and Classic. Meanwhile, we have a ZvZ as Shin took down Cure and Rogue took down ByuN. So Shin and Rogue going to be facing off in the semifinals as well. I'll be honest, coming into this, I feel like we had our more favorite players come out on top. The one results that was a little more of a surprise for me was ByuN versus Rogue. I was rating ByuN a little bit more highly compared to Rogue, but it was a very close series, very close back and forth. Even game 2 as well, I could see going the way of ByuN. I'm referring to the game on Neon Violet Square. Just an interesting choice out of ByuN to be hyper aggressive, which kind of led to things going very quickly awry, I should say. But regardless, GG, well played. In the end, we do have our top 4 here, and we're going to be continuing LiuLi Cup 34 tomorrow. We'll continue tomorrow here. We are wrapping up for day 1, and tomorrow is going to be the semifinals and the grand finals thereafter. Now, I do apologize because we will not be casting day 2 live. The reason for this, as you can see here, bam, we have another event. We have another event tomorrow. Our next broadcast is going to be at 9 a.m. KST. That is going to be in 9.5 hours. In 9.5 hours time, we're going to be live on the channel with the Euthermal 2-2 circuit. This is a replay cast. Euthermal's event was a couple of days ago, less than a week ago, and we were busy adminning it. We were busy running it. We could not cast it live. So we're going to be covering it via replays instead in 9.5 hours. Then, in less than 24 hours, we were already locked into the OOC King of the Hill. King of the Hill here on Friday is going to be overlapping with LiuLi Cup, so I do apologize, we won't be able to cast LiuLi Cup. We are otherwise busy with King of the Hill instead. And that is going to be the 200th edition of OOC King of the Hill. That is going to be how many games? 30 best of ones, back to back to back to back to back to back. I'll do my best to get some sleep beforehand. I did not sleep in between casts today. We covered 2 events, as always. We did cover the OC Season 12 Championship and LiuLi Cup, and I am very, very tired. No, I was unable to sleep in between, unfortunately, but hopefully I'll be able to do so tomorrow to be well rested and reinvigorated for the OSC King of the Hill. Otherwise, we have the KSL on Saturday. We have the Fire Cup over the weekend on Sunday and Monday, and we have STC on Sunday as well. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft on the channel. If you enjoyed the broadcast, do check us out here, or check out our YouTube, I should say, !socials in the chat. Bam, to get a link to our social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. As we do post whenever we go live, and we are live on a daily basis, multiple times a day, every single day. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft, plenty of casting. Let's go. Let us go. So you can check us out there. Otherwise, you can also support us via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat, and you'll get a link to our Patreon page. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments. Bam! Events like this. We have the Sea Duckling Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup, and Master Swan Open as well. It is all these are all regular events we do host on a weekly or monthly basis, and it is all funded via Patreon. So if you want to help support us, you can do so. You can do so via Patreon as well if you wish. Otherwise, following us is all that we ask. Following us is all that we ask here. And again, if you see something that we cast live and you cannot watch it at the time, just because it's hard to watch everything, I'm sure, like it's hard to keep up with StarCraft. There's just so much StarCraft going on every single day. Check out the VODs. Check out the VODs on YouTube. We have VODs on YouTube. We upload on a daily basis. Plenty of content on YouTube, and plenty of content here on Twitch as well. So yeah, consider checking it out. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live? Who is live at the moment? Who can we send everyone over to? Let's quickly check and find out. Who do we have? Let's see. A bunch of people that were casting the event, of course. There's Thriving GG. Rainer, he's on the Rift. True. Is on the Rift. Likewise, I guess we'll give it to Old Mate Thriving GG. I guess. Don't know anyone else here. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. We do appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time. Whether it's for the Uthermal 2v2 event, whether it's for OSC King of the Hill, or even in a future LiuLi Cup event. We're going to be covering LiuLi Cup Day 2 via replays next week. Next week, we'll slot it in, we'll find a position for it, and we'll be all over those replays. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Ciao. Hasta luego, papi. Hasta luego. Gotta go to bed. See you next time.